Let's see if they can turn two. There's one. And there's two.
Pretty big fish to fry. Pretty big fish to fry. My. Pretty big fish to fry. Pretty big fish to fry. My. Last weekend I barely thought I'd make it out alive. Told myself I'd take time and give the world a try. I was alive. My.
Oh, everybody, it is Tuesday, May the 23rd, 2017. You're checking out the premier sports and beer podcast coming to you with roots in New Jersey, but we are now national, nationwide, syndicated all over this great land through the wonderful service that is the iTunes podcasting service. It's the Turn 2 podcast. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to listen this evening. We are, for those of you that normally check us out on Facebook Live, we are without Facebook this evening. So thanks for finding the time to download us and make it a part of your week. Before we do anything, let's introduce the couple of boys that have hopped on this evening. From Whippany, New Jersey, we have Paul.
What's going on, fellas?
Hanging out tonight, man. Hanging out. Looking forward to it. And from the nation's capital.
Oof. You just can't get away from it. You love it.
As the chill goes down your spine, it is resident hockey expert, Yampo.
Those weren't chills down my spine. Those were douche chills. Not so fast, Pat Sajak.
Well, hello, everybody, and we are very happy you're here.
And good evening, everybody. And despite the fact that I have just knocked a cup of coffee in my lap and a suit that's just out of the cleaners, it's great to be home.
And his first pitch to D. Gordon is almost on the kneecaps for ball one. D just did get out of the way.
It's the first pitch.
First pitch, huh? Oh, the music's over now. The music's back. Now it's off. This is our 39th time doing this, and we still can't get it fucking right. Oh, first pitch, Yampo style, the nation's capital. I might be a little out of my element on this first pitch, but I feel like it's something we probably should talk about. You guys love basketball. Jeff loves basketball.
Whatever, Yampo.
You cut it.
Whatever, Yampo. Whatever, Yampo.
All right, NBA playoffs. Embarrassment or quality product? I have a tough time with this one, particularly because you guys know I'm a hockey guy. But I'm trying to watch the NBA playoffs. I'm trying to get into it. I think it's a little bit more exciting, but I don't understand how the Warriors can go 12-0, run every fucking series, and wait for the Cavs, who are probably going to go 12-1, 12-2. How is this possibly any good for the NBA? I mean, obviously, 7-game series per round, is tons of TV money and ticket money and all kind of revenue generating. But remember back in the day when we were growing up, the first round was a 5-game series. And I just think that we need to get back to that. There's no reason that these teams are going 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. It's ridiculous. And they could wait like a week and a half to play another team. I don't know. I got a problem with this. I don't know what you guys think. Jeff, you're the big basketball guy. What do you think?
Honestly, I think the NBA playoffs this year, with the exception of the Washington-Boston series, have been complete crap. And I think it's bad for the game. The same way that I complain about, changing different things in hockey are bad for the game. I think having these all-star teams is bad for the game. And I think that it's only a matter of time before the smartest commissioner in sports, Adam Silver, figures it out and corrects it, because it's
But how do you correct it?
maybe you eliminate the salary cap.
What, how does that help?
Well, look at baseball. Baseball doesn't have a salary cap. There's more parity in baseball than there is in the other sports.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know if that's. These guys want to go play with each other. I don't know if there's that same desire. Is there that same desire in baseball? It takes 9 guys and then some and a bunch of pitching staff. Here, you could like call up your boys and be like, "Yo, let's create a super team. 5 of us, boom, done."
Yeah, I think it'd definitely be harder in the NBA to have that parity, because like you were saying, Yampo, baseball teams, you have 9 people out there, you have a whole pitching staff. So if you have a couple, crappy people towards the back of your rotation, it's really not going to benefit you too much. But like you guys were saying, that the playoffs this year have just been terrible. Even the series that have gone 5, 6, 7 games. I mean, the games aren't even close. It's a blowout one way, it's a blowout the other way. So I just think it's a shitty product they're putting out right now.
And I was listening to a couple different podcasts and other sports shows this week, and they were talking about the NBA, Bill Simmons in particular, and he was just, crushing this and saying, why don't you have these teams do like a 1-game playoff early on, or go back to the 5-game series? And I specifically remember watching the Heat Knicks series back in the day when they were playing every time in the first round. It felt like they're in the early mid 90s or mid to late 90s.
Right.
And I remember complaining, shit, this should be 7 games, because that was the only way the Knicks were going to beat the Heat back then, right?
Right.
But now it's just, and I get it, hockey has 7-7-7, right? But I don't think, and I'd have to check, but I don't think a team has ever gone 12-0 to get to the cup final. It just doesn't happen in hockey. I mean, it could be 4-1, 4-2, but I just don't think anyone has ever just waltzed through the fucking playoffs like that. It's embarrassing.
It doesn't typically happen in basketball either. Like this is the aberration. This isn't the rule.
It's just making for a poor TV product, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you. And
So-
and even worse than a poor TV product, it's embarrassing. I mean, forget about how it looks on TV, and you got guys like Barkley who are NBA guys trashing the product that is paying the salary. It's just not good for the long-term health of the sport. It's not good for the long-term health of the sport for young people to watch these all-stars determining their own fate and deciding where they're going to play. It's very characteristic of this me generation that gets whatever they want, and we're allowing it to happen, and we're still paying to watch the games, and that's why it's going to continue to happen.
Most people talk about the super teams, and the original one, I guess, or the one that most people think about right away is LeBron, right? And D Wade and Bosh.
Right, because that was the first team where the players actually orchestrated it.
Right.
There have been other teams where they've had many all-stars, but that was the first team that the players actually orchestrated it.
And Simmons had an interesting, or the guy who was on Simmons, I can't remember his name, but he had an interesting theory on this, that really LeBron's always playing chess while we're all playing checkers, because he really went down there, extended his career by not having to be the guy to carry the team for 3, 4, 5 years, however long he was there, and now he's extended his prime. You know what I mean? He's single-handedly carrying the Cavaliers now. Last year, he didn't have to do that in Miami. I thought it was interesting.
I don't think he had to do it in Miami, but there was no doubt that as soon as they didn't start clicking on all cylinders until D Wade took a backseat to LeBron. I mean, that was LeBron. Those were LeBron's teams.
D Wade's like 102, isn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't at the time. At the time,
He was 98. He was only 98. But I mean, playoff LeBron's just a different beast. I mean, that's what he does. He just takes over whatever team he's on, and works out for him.
Yeah, the 7-game playoff series are padding the stats for him.
Maybe they should rest him in Game 5.
well, they rested him in a random game in the middle of April, so he's probably totally well rested now. The whole conversation with LeBron always goes back to Michael, right? I mean, like you can't have a playoff season go by without somebody comparing LeBron James to Michael Jordan. And the fact that he laid a big turd in the game the other night. He had 11 points, didn't score in the fourth quarter. I know it's revisionist history, but I legitimately don't remember Jordan ever doing something like that in the playoffs. I'm sure he did it in the middle of the season, but I don't remember him doing that in a playoff game. I'd be really interested to see if anybody ever ran the stats to see if he did, because I don't remember it, and I don't think it makes LeBron any less of a great player. He's still, in my opinion, one of the top 5 players in the history of the game. But these comparisons to Jordan need to stop. They're ridiculous. Am I off base with that? I mean, I just I think it's insane to compare the two because of the time that they're playing. Number one, and because of the style of player that they are. They didn't play alike at all.
No,
So-
Jordan, he was aggressive early in his career, and then as he kind of got a little older, he tailored his game to be, more jump shooting and more of a perimeter player. And LeBron's still probably one of the top 5 athletes in the NBA. So I don't know if he needs to revert back to like a jump shooter yet, but down the road, I mean, he could kind of tailor the later part of his career after what Jordan did, but trying to compare him right now, I mean, it doesn't really make sense right now.
No. So I don't know.
Listen, LeBron, I found the stats. Okay, I found a great comparison.
Okay.
So LeBron had 11 games where he was shooting sub 30%.
Playoff games.
Playoff games. Okay?
Yeah, 11.
11 total. Jordan had 6 total. So about half.
And LeBron's played more games.
LeBron's played more games. So whatever, we'll call it a couple more games, right? But I think the detail here is that MJ ended up, what was going wrong for both of these guys? They couldn't hit the 3 in those games where they weren't scoring or where they weren't, their shooting percentage was shit. Okay. But where MJ made the difference was when he would do that, he would drive to the net. Supposedly. Right. So he's still put up 20 points plus in all of those losses. LeBron hasn't.
But here's the thing, too, to go back to your original point, which is I think what we need to discuss here is the NBA playoffs. Those years that the Bulls were dominant, and I'm talking like in
nobody touched them.
In hindsight, they were the best dynasty we've probably seen in sports in the modern era, right?
If Brett was awake, he might argue the Patriots.
I would argue the Pats, but it's not arguable.
Well,
But
is that a dog or a child, Paul?
What in the background?
Yeah.
It's actually a child playing with a dog's toy. It sounds like.
What a hybrid.
And Brett said, although we're not on Facebook, to mention our Snapchat right now because it's lit.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Let me finish this Jordan point, and then we'll move on to hockey. But my take on the whole thing is, even though those teams were ridiculous, like there were years where like other teams had a shot. Like the Knicks had a shot. They took that team to 7 games.
They did.
Most years. They were not the better team, but the series was hard fought and was legitimate. Those finals that Jordan played in, they went 6 games. They went 7 games. Like right now, what you're saying Golden State's doing, just tearing through the playoffs, it's embarrassing. And the West is supposed to be the better conference. So, even in those days where you look back and you had those 8 years where you had 6 Chicago titles and 2 Houston titles, every year it was really competitive. And every year you thought there were 3 or 4 teams that could legitimately contend.
Shit. Even the Lakers, when the Lakers were running shit in the late 90s and the early 2000s, teams were still taking them deep. I mean, the 2002 Western Conference Final was kind of bullshit, but Sacramento took them 7 games.
Well, and it was proven that it was bullshit because the referee was shaving points.
Yeah, but see, aren't you impressed? I know that.
I am impressed. Well,
Yeah.
gambling
NBA guy.
Yeah, I am a degenerate gambler.
Not really surprised that you-
Anyway, I think the point is it's hard to watch. You want to get into it. I'm trying to watch more NBA, trying to get more into it. But when a team's just breezing through for it, it's not even exciting to watch. It's
I
the
agree.
best.
I agree, and that takes us to the NHL playoffs, which we were all on the edge of our seat watching the other night. So take it from what happened the other night as Nashville moves on.
Well, I'd be remiss to start talking about hockey without talking about what I'm drinking tonight because I'm thirsty.
That's a good point.
Why don't you go back home to your street malls and drink your Zimas and Smirnoff Ices? Oh yeah! The greatest beer in all the
From the bar.
Yeah, I like cold beverage, yeah. I like cold beverage, yeah. I like cold beverage, yeah. cause I'm feeling kind of parched. Stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge, stick it in the fridge.
You see, that is why we keep Yampo on the show, because I look at a segment and I skip over it and I'm ready to move on to the next thing, and then out of the blue,
Not so fast, Pat Sajak.
he pulls us back to where we need.
We try to get off script a little bit, and Yampo reels us right in, just like he was talking about before the show.
Oh, that's behind the scenes. Look up the skirt.
What are you drinking tonight, Yampo?
Oh, okay. I will.
We got a Savvy B.
I'm not drinking Savvy B tonight. I went back to back
And no belly.
with Bell's, but I'm having Oberon this week. Bell's Oberon, another favorite of mine. This is a nice American wheat ale from Comstock, Michigan. What? Yeah, you don't get Bell's.
Who are you showing? Are you just showing us?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm like Pavlov's fucking dog. Here you go. Ooh. All right, well, 5.8. It's a nice American wheat ale. Oberon. Dig it.
Delicious. Paulie, what do you got?
I got a Bronx Brewery Slow Your Roll Session IPA.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty good. Easy to drink. Very hoppy. Got good flavor for a session. Definitely something I'll go back to, and just kind of an homage to our boy Brett, who's in the Bronx tonight.
In the Bronx. He said he might call in, so we'll wait and see if he calls in from the judges' chambers.
Is this the first game he's gone to tonight, or
No.
were there two?
He was at the Jeter game.
Was there one game that day or two?
I think there was two.
Oh, okay.
They
played them consecutively.
Oh, okay.
yeah, they played those two games back to back,
And a belly to belly.
but I don't think he went to the first one because it was Mother's Day. So
Jabroni, you are 3 seconds away. And the rock means 3 seconds.
Away.
terrific. I was out tonight when I came home from work. My wife and I met a classmate of Nick's, actually down in Asbury Park at Brickwall Tavern. Shout out to Brickwall Tavern. A lot of great beer on tap there. And I was drinking a Morning Bell that they have on tap there. So I went a little bit light tonight. I am going with the Leinenkugels
Ooh.
watermelon shandy.
Ooh, not my favorite of the bunch. I've got grapefruit and the reg in the fridge.
Grapefruit and summer shandy are very good. Watermelon and orange, not so good.
I thought the watermelon was pretty bad. Courtney tried it the other day.
Yeah,
That's a nish, not an achia.
I wouldn't do it again. I'll put it that way. So on that note, hockey.
Well, hockey. Holy shit. Can we talk about Nashville?
We can talk about Nashville.
I mean, talk about exciting. Talking about snooze fest to excitement. Nashville Predators punching their ticket to the Stanley Cup. I mean, first of all, if I worked for the NHL still, I'd be super jacked up about being at Tootsie's right now, probably, actually. But, Nashville played a tremendous game last night. Anaheim also played really well. I'm not sure what happened with their goalie. Gibson was in the first period of Game 5 and then disappeared. Didn't come back for the second period, and so they brought in Bernier, who Toronto dumped last year because he stunk on ice, literally. And, Bernier had to make his first career playoff start, and he didn't play poorly, but he couldn't be expected to stop Nashville. I mean, Nashville is just outscoring people left and right at home. They're on fire at home, 7-1 at home, outscoring people 25-13 at home. I mean, that's just an insane stat during the playoffs. And this is the team that was ranked 8th in the Western Conference. And this is only the third time since 94 that's happened. And the other two times were with the Devils, who lost in 2012 in 6 games, and then also the Peter Laviolette coached Hurricanes, who's the current coach of Nashville. So, Jeff, you watched the game. I think, we're talking about NBA versus NHL a little bit. I think, did you see the excitement of everybody there? Everyone was standing.
It's not even, you really can't compare the two.
I know. Well, we can try later, but did you see everybody standing in the lower bowl? It's
I did.
insane.
I did. And here's the thing about Nashville, right? Nashville is, if you were a fringe hockey fan, like I guess I consider myself at this point in my life. I used to be really into hockey, but I fell off of it for whatever reason, probably because of the poor play of the Devils, to be honest with you, which is bad. Shame on me, but it's probably the truth. But if you're a fringe fan and you've caught any of Nashville, during this playoffs, it's got to remind you why you like hockey, right? They're everything that's right about the NHL. They're a team that didn't really have the expectations to do what they're doing. They've gotten really hot, and they can't seem to be stopped.
The funny thing is, in the preseason, when they made the trade for Subban and Weber for Subban, that was a big deal, and there was some expectation that they were going to compete.
Right.
You know, they've been in the playoffs the last several years. They just haven't gotten past the second round. But then they started off poorly. Subban got hurt, and it was just a mishmash of kind of muddling through the season. And then all of a sudden, they caught fire in March and got into the playoffs. And now they're playing in the final, which is exciting.
When does the final start? Because I know the NBA finals don't start until like June 1st. Like, it doesn't matter how long those series go. Is there a definite?
Yeah, which is another ridiculousness about the fucking NBA. But
does the NHL do that or
yeah, it's starting Monday, the 29th.
So regardless.
Yep.
Okay. So
and it's going to start in either Pittsburgh or Ottawa. So
and Pittsburgh Ottawa game 6 is tonight, right?
Game 6 is happening right about now. So that's a tough series. Ottawa, what an interesting story Ottawa is. They kind of a sleeper team again in the East, and they just got drubbed 7-0. I mean, the Penguins just came out of nowhere, 4 in the first period. Now, I guess Ottawa did that to them a couple games ago, but shit, 7-0. It's bad. Is Craig Anderson going to be able to shake that off? I don't know. I'm a goalie, and I'm comparing myself to an NHL goalie, obviously. And it's hard to shake off. Your confidence gets a little rattled when you give up 7 goals. I would know. It's happened many times to me.
7?
But you were drunk at the time. So.
I have found that I play better with a little buzz. That's for sure, though.
That series to me is just weird. Like I can't
it's
get
very strange.
I can't get a read on what it is. There's no flow to it. It's like it's Jekyll and Hyde. One game Pittsburgh looks like they can't put the puck in the net, and then the next game they're dropping 7.
Yeah,
and the same thing with Ottawa. It's the same thing.
Yeah, Ottawa's been inconsistent like that all year, but Pittsburgh, kind of surprising. Ever since they made the change in goal, though, they've kind of turned it up. Ever since they kind of yanked Fleury and put Matt Murray in there, and Matt Murray kind of won the cup. Well, I mean, he helped them win a cup last year, and so now he's back in the net, and they seem to have gotten a little bit of a motivational boost from that. I think Pittsburgh obviously is the better team. I've said that from the beginning. In fact, Brett and I both said it was going to be Pittsburgh-Nashville, and we're one game away from having that. I mean, what's disappointing for Ottawa, it's, a major Canadian city, and, they can't even sell out the game, which is surprising to me. I mean, they've had issues selling out games all season, but come on, this is potentially the last game that your team's going to play all season. They haven't been making it this far in the playoffs. They haven't been this far in the last 10 years, and they can't sell out a game. It's kind of disappointing, to be honest with you.
It runs counterculture to what we were talking about last week, too.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. It'd be like if the Knicks made the conference final and then there were, tons of empty seats upstairs. Would that make any sense whatsoever?
Well,
there's no empty seats now, and the Knicks can't even fucking.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying.
In the scrimmage.
They managed to lose an inter-squad.
Honestly, I think the Nashville Pittsburgh series, if that's what it ends up being, is going to be a tremendous Stanley Cup final. I just think it's going to be high energy. Could be some high-scoring games. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I think it's probably going to attract the eye of a lot of casual fans.
Well, I know we're cart before the horse there as far as putting Pittsburgh in the final, because they very well could still lose that series against Ottawa. But if they do, and let's just forecast out a little bit further. If they were to win another cup, where does that place them in some sort of dynasty conversation over the last decade, right? Because that would put how many cups over the last
10 years? It would be their third.
The third. So that ties them with Chicago, or does that pass them ahead of the Blackhawks?
That ties them with Chicago. I think Chicago's won in 10, 12, and 13, 14.
So really, you're looking at those two teams as the dominant two franchises of the last 10 years.
Yeah, not 13, because this will be the first time that someone's gone back-to-back.
And a belly-to-belly.
Since the Red Wings, I believe.
Okay. But you like Pittsburgh in this
in the Ottawa series.
You think they close it out tonight, or do you?
Yeah,
think...
I think Pittsburgh's going to close it out tonight. I think they're going to close it out tonight, and they're going to get about a week off, and the game's going to start in Pittsburgh, and that's going to be a hell of a series. I mean, shit, I'd be afraid to go play in Nashville, to be honest with you. Place is just raucous, and every country fucking star and their grandmother is latched onto that squad. Yeah. Al Gore's following the damn fucking Predators.
Oh, it's an inconvenient truth.
I hate when a guy like Al Gore starts tweeting and it says hashtag stand with us. Hashtag shut up. Your fucking hashtags. Is anyone going to search that fucking hashtag?
I don't know.
You don't? It's
What?
probably trending, right?
Wait, come on.
Hang on.
Come on. Hang on.
Whatever, yeah, Paul.
All right, Paul. Anything else you want to say about hockey, Paul?
No.
That's pretty abrasive.
No,
Paul.
I mean,
Good.
I was watching the game last night. To go back to the Nashville Anaheim game, and I don't know, it just seemed like, you know, we're all kind of pulling for Nashville as casual fans, and well, Yampo's not a casual fan.
I am not casual, but I am pulling for Nash.
But when Anaheim came back from 3-1 to tie it up, it just looked like they had momentum, and I wasn't sure what Nashville was going to do, and did they ever respond in the third period?
Oh yeah, just a lot of fun, man. They're just, you know what? It's just everything that the NBA isn't right now. The Nashville Predators are, and it's a shame that hockey doesn't draw the casual fan that basketball does, because I think if somebody was watching both of these sports right now, there's no way that anybody would say, "Oh, I like the guys dribbling the ball better." There's no way. And I'm a big basketball guy, but there's no way that you can honestly sit there, watch both of those sports, and say that basketball's more.
Do you remember that? Hold on. Do you remember that guy from last year from the Blues? The Blues were in the playoffs, and like this random guy started tweeting all this stuff during the Blues games, and he was like, "Oh shit, this is lit!" Like, "Oh man, this guy hit. Oh fuck!" Like he went on like a crazy series of tweets, and the Blues were like bringing him to the game. You know, sending him to away games during the playoffs. It was hilarious. But the guy was like, "This is awesome. This is oh shit, he hit him." And then it was like, they're getting in a fight. He's punching him in the face. This shit is lit. I can't remember that.
You got to hit up that Turn 2 Twitter feed.
Shit was lit. I don't remember that guy. But it was it's like if more people just watched that game last night or a Nashville game during this playoffs, I feel like they would tune in every week, every night.
Is it bad that I've watched a handful of Nashville games and I can't name more than 3 players on their team?
Who are they?
I can't say their fucking goalie's name either.
Pekka Rinne? I can't say fucking Daryl Revis.
Daryl Revis.
Or, you know, Kawhi Leonard. Asshole.
All right. So if you're not for those of you that are listening, if you're not watching hockey, you're an idiot.
Watch some fucking hockey. All right.
Hoops. Well, the West has been won. As we mentioned in our first pitch, the Warriors have swept through the entire Western Conference playoffs, which is great for no one unless you live in the Golden State fan base radius error, which is, I guess, God knows where at this point. San Antonio, I really thought they were going to get one just because they're so well coached. But they didn't. And, you know, I think it made sense from Popovich's standpoint to not play Leonard once he was definitely hurt.
How do you Papa who?
Popovich.
Papa Giorgio.
Popovich.
Vyasevic?
Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi. But like I said, I think it made sense to not play him.
Just for the record, you know, Popovich, God damn it, I did it again. Popovich, he was fucking belly aching about, you know, Jaja.
Yeah.
Okay, but Bruce Bowen was like the quintessential scumbag who did this shit all the time when he put on the Spurs.
But that was on his team.
Yeah, well, fuck that. That's like, come on, man. That's just such garbage. Like, oh, he never said a fucking word when Bruce Bowen was taking people's ankles out or fucking diving at people when they went for fucking shots. Like, and he's like, this guy it's like committing murder. Shut up.
He's the quintessential do as I say, not as I do coach, though.
But why does everybody love him?
Because he wins, man. He
didn't win shit this past series.
Yeah, but he keeps people accountable. Like the garbage that goes on with all these stars running their teams doesn't happen in San Antonio. It's the same thing that Belichick does with the Pats. He keeps his guys in check.
They buy into the system. and it works more times than not.
Do your job.
I like turtles.
Okay, that's good. I like them too.
That's all I'd say.
Let's go over to Boston and Cleveland.
That's it? Oh, yeah, that's right, because Golden State fucking swept them. Nothing to talk about.
There's nothing to talk about. Golden State's now going to sit idle for a week. And a half.
So I did watch more of that game the other night, by the way, and it is interesting to see once like how passive Durant is. Like he's just on the floor when he's with Curry, but then when Curry's off the floor, he just takes over.
Right.
It's insane.
But he goes one-on-one.
And they all literally just passed to Curry, and he literally like. I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, slow it down. And I'm like yelling at the TV, slow it down. I'm always like the slow it down pace guy. They're just running up the floor and chucking a three.
That's the 90s Knicks fan in you. You're like,
I know.
why can't we just play defense and
Yeah, just slow it down. No, kill the clock.
Throw it to the post. The guy with his back to the basket.
Oh my
Like
God, the
that.
guys in the post nowadays get mauled.
And nobody, there's not a center in the league that plays like 12 feet out with his back to the basket. It does
Nope,
this.
not one. But those were the days. You just fucking feed them down low on a bounce pass.
And Ewing just takes one dribble, does a
He
shit.
does the back. He does the back, and then the fake right, and then the left turnaround.
One dribble and 5 steps.
I just like how both Ewing and Olajuwon, they all did the fake right and never went right. Like who falls?
Never.
Stop falling for the fake.
Every time. That was my move in intramural basketball. I just imitated Ewing.
Of course.
Baseline butter.
Of course.
Did you wear the knee pads?
I didn't wear the knee pads, but I did pump up my Reeboks.
You wear the knee pads now?
Oh, every day. My knees hurt.
You gotta ice those, man. You gotta ice those. Hey, Ewing's in your neck of the woods now. You can go by and ask him for some pointers and pick up basketball.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be the coach of Georgetown, isn't he?
Sure is.
Oh, I'm gonna meet him. I'm gonna get him on our show.
Oh, that would be great.
I'm gonna get him on turn 2.
Listen, there's
Fuck Sean.
if you there's nothing that you could do that would bring me greater joy with you in my life than if you were to get Pat Ewing on this show.
Or if I could get Pat Ewing to like give us a soundbite, like, "Hey, you're listening to turn 2." It wouldn't sound like that at all. I don't even know what Patrick Ewing fucking sounds like.
Very deep voice.
You're listening to turn 2.
The best part about Pat Ewing is like every time they would play a game,
Pat. I like how I call him Pat, like he's a fucking principal.
they would
What's this thing about Pat Ewing?
they'd have the post game, right? And they'd always be interviewing Ewing at his locker, and he'd be sitting there like freaking half naked with his oversized legs and a towel that's the size of like a sweat rag that you'd have covering his Ewing junk. And he would have like the camera would be all up in his grill as they're asking him questions. And he was a big dude, and he would just take these like I can't even describe what they are, with the exception of just calling them Q-tips, but they were oversized Q-tips, like the kind that you would like use to like put like Neosporin on like a wound.
Yeah, like the ones you used to see in the doctor's appointment in the jar.
Yeah, that's what he would have. And he was cleaning his nostrils with them every post-game interview. He would just jam them up his nose. Somebody would be like, "So, tell me about the foul trouble." And he's just jamming this freaking 6-foot-long Q-tip up his nose.
Oh, Patrick Ewing.
Was it still dripping sweat all over the place too?
Sweating like Ewing in the fourth, baby.
Oh,
No better phrase. Brett used to sweat like Ewing in the fourth when he would get into bed.
he still does. I don't know if you've been around him when he eats, but he sweats when he eats. It's a problem.
It's gross. Boston and Cleveland.
Who?
How about the C's getting a victory without Isaiah? How about it?
Sorry, Marv Albert. It's excited. How about him? I don't know. I mean, I think they just. I'm surprised that the Cavs coasted like that. They were up by like 21 points or something, weren't they?
I went to bed. Not gonna lie to you, totally went to bed. I was like, this game's over. Did either of you stay up and actually watch the whole thing happen?
No.
No, but by the way, not a big fan of your garbage bet that you got me locked into right now.
Oh no! What a surprise! I made a bad call on a bet.
Yeah, Boston is up 13-7 in the first.
Oh,
13-9, Yampo. Refresh.
All right. Hey, by the way, who scored the first point? Do we know? Because I took a plus 600 bet against the field.
Such a degenerate game.
No, I just put like $25 on it.
The first
casino.
First points were a Kevin Love 3.
Oh fuck! He was one of the 5 or 6 guys.
Followed by the first Celtics basket was a Kelly Olynyk.
Of course it was. Why wouldn't it be that fucking asshole?
Nice.
Man,
So what did you end up losing on it?
I just put $25 to win. It's like plus 600. So if I put 100 down, I would have won 6. But I didn't win, so it doesn't matter.
It's terrible.
I'm like the Mets.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Mistake.
Any shot that do you think Boston has any shot to win another game? In this?
No.
No, you think that's it? They played for pride, they got it, and now it's over.
It's over. It's over, Johnny.
Definitely.
All right. Do you have here you have some stats here, so let's read those. The free throw disparity in that series, holy Christ, it's 93 to 45.
Yeah, well, you know why that is, don't you?
I don't. You think
because LeBron's a big fucking baby. That's why.
So you think because he's complained, that's what's happening?
I mean, he's asking for calls all the time.
He always has.
Yeah, that's not new.
I'm just saying. It's certainly contributing to that. I mean, I can't believe that they won game 3 and their free throw differential is like plus 24.
Yeah,
it's like, how the fuck they do that?
It was crazy.
Is LeBron making his foul shots? I don't even know in the playoffs because he kind of sucked.
His free throw percentage has totally declined.
I don't get it. I know we've talked about it on the show. How do you not make 75% of your foul shots if you're a professional basketball player?
Especially because he can shoot from other parts of the floor. It's not like he's Shaq. You know what I mean? Like, I got why Shaq couldn't do it because his hand was bigger than the ball. Like that can't be easy to shoot a free throw when you don't shoot jump shots. But LeBron shoots jump shots. Like, he's not.
I disagree. I still don't agree that Shaq shouldn't have shot a higher percentage. If I play fucking Little Tykes basketball with my son's play set, I can still make 75% of the shots with my weird fucking.
You have more rotation on that ball than you did when you played high school basketball. Because
did they go in?
Why am I just looking at JP's?
Listen, it's tough for shots to go in when you're sitting next to the assistant coach telling him what the actual play is because no one on the staff knows what the actual plays are.
It wasn't my best sport.
No, but apparently you were one of the smartest guys on the bench, so you were able to kind of give it a call from there.
JP in Lincoln Park, you're on the fan. What's up, JP? JP.
I'm just listening.
Oh, okay, good then.
The last question.
Great contribution. Thanks, JP, for
Dynamite dropping, JP.
You're welcome.
Dynamite dropping, Monty. That's why he's the best in the business, folks. This is the last question you have here, Yampo, which is a laughable question.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Is what's better, the NBA playoffs or the NHL playoffs?
Well, it's obviously subjective.
By whose standard?
I have no idea. I mean, I know what you think. What do you think Paul thinks?
NHL by far.
Who cares?
It is time for your favorite segment and mine. Close to the end of the show tonight. It's time for Who Cares?
Nobody cares about hockey, Boomer.
Good point.
Who cares? You ready for this? This is a good one. I got some good ones on here.
I'm excited.
I got some good ones on here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Conor McGregor posted photos on Instagram taunting Floyd Mayweather, basically saying, solid work today. Sign your end, Floyd, or you're just a mouth. Who cares? I guess you guys don't care. I thought you might be a little more excited about that one. No?
No.
No?
No. Your boy Odell Beckham. He no-showed Giants OTAs yesterday. You concerned?
Absolutely not. He's coming on Thursday. It's fucking voluntary. He obviously was signing up, letting the ink dry on that $25 million deal with Nike. So who fucking cares?
Can I ask you a legitimate question? Why do players in the NFL sign contracts with shoe companies? Like, don't they all have to wear the same shoes? Like, doesn't the NFL have a shoe deal?
No,
they don't. So like, somebody could wear like LeVar Ball cleats if they really wanted to. I'm not kidding. I'm being serious. I thought that because Nike.
No, there's guys that wear Under Armour. There's guys that wear Nike. There's guys wearing different stuff.
Cleats, because they all have to wear the same NFL issued stuff. Their cleats can be made by anybody though.
Yeah.
You're positive on that.
I mean, 99.9.
All right. Well, do a little recon and find that out for me, because I think that that's not true. I think that they have to wear. I was under the impression that the cleats were part of the whole Nike, design the uniform package, but I could be wrong. I thought that's why they made such a big deal over those stupid cleats that everybody wore in pregame before they turned it into a thing that the NFL could actually monetize.
Well, haven't you seen these guys all like have cleats designed, whatever that they can't wear?
That's what I'm saying. I thought that was.
I'm sorry, I was pulling a Brett.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I thought that's why it was such a big deal, was that they were not.
They allowed it at like a couple of weeks this year, didn't they? Like you could wear whatever design shoes.
I think it was for charity or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
a bunch of fucking do-gooders.
Whatever.
All right, hold on. Shoes must be here. I got it for you right here.
Yeah.
Here's the rule book.
Okay.
Shoes must be of standard football design, including sneaker-type shoes such as basketball shoes, cross-training shoes, etc. Each team must designate a dominant base color for its shoes, either black or white, and each team must also designate one of its constitutional uniform colors as a dominant team color. So it doesn't matter who it is.
All right, so I'm wrong.
Logos, names, or other commercial identification on shoes are not permitted to be visible unless advance approval is granted by the league office.
All right, well, that would make sense then. So if you had an Under Armour cleat, the league's not going to allow you to wear it to say Under Armour on it, because their Nike makes their uniforms.
I don't know about that.
That's how that sounds to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but
you're not a lawyer.
No, I'm not. My feeble mind can't figure that out. But I think it would be interesting to look into that a little further.
Okay, well,
but in this case,
who cares? All right, here's a really big fucking who cares for Johnny DeWhite, man.
Good.
On this date, on May, we're really up in our soundboard game.
Oh my goodness gracious!
On this date in May 23rd, 1998, Mike, I did not sleep with Sam Champion Piazza, made his Mets debut.
All right, good.
Remember that? You remember that story?
No.
You don't remember? There was like a story going around that Sam Champion and Mike Piazza had some like gay fling.
No, really?
Come on.
That was legitimately a rumored story.
Totally. Google it.
I'm not.
So happened.
Anyway, who fucking cares?
Well, I think Yampo. I think you do care that the Mets, for the white man, need to go 82-38.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
To hit 100 games this year.
Here comes the Mets bus.
No chance. No.
Oh man,
this one's good.
This is not good. The only reason this is in Who Cares is because I can't believe people pay this much money for this shit. Okay, the original Babe Ruth sales contract from the Sox to the Yankees is being auctioned. It last sold for $996,000 in 2005, and the current owner apparently turned down $5 million in an offer at some point over since that time, right? In the last 10, 12 years. Why, in your right mind, would you not sell this piece of fucking paper, for $5 million? Not so fast, Pat Sajak.
What are the odds that Rass's dad buys it?
Is Rass's dad some like weird, unique memorabilia collector?
Paul?
He's got a lot of memorabilia. There's some stuff there that you have to really wonder what the value is.
Okay, so we're gonna need to dig into this.
There's some.
He's got
Ruth, there's Mickey Mantle. There's all the Yankee greats autographs all on one.
Hold on, he's got Christmas cards from John F. Kennedy. Like, he's got some weird ass shit.
What does it like have his? So is it a Christmas card? Hold on.
Yeah, it was
a Christmas card that
he and Jackie were sending out, and then like right before, or the last Christmas card he sent out before he got.
So it was 66, 62. So
whatever, that following year's card was not pretty.
Whatever, Yoko.
Is Brooklyn in the house?
Who cares? All right, hold on. I don't want to move on.
Are we just a bunch of drops tonight?
There's three of us, so
we stick on ice. All right,
Bruce, I feel like JP's here with us though.
Yeah.
You don't want to move on. So what did you have to say about this?
I just don't want to get off this whole Rass memorabilia thing. All right, so the JFK thing is weird.
Yeah, very weird.
What else is weird?
That real Rass is running around Brussels somewhere. They brought back some other kid. that was thinner and more
And real-
athletic.
Real Ras is eating chocolate in Wonka's factory. Save some room for later.
Augustus.
Please, my chocolate must never be touched by human hands. Please, I beg you. Rasiopo.
No, wait, hold on. Seriously though,
Yeah.
what other shit did they have?
I don't know. The only really weird thing I ever saw was the Christmas cards from JFK.
Okay, all right, it's strange. I'll give you that. All right, moving on. Bruce Allen.
Timmy's dad has a lot of weird shit too, though.
Who's dead?
Tim, your boy.
Eckert.
Yeah.
Tim.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the Eckert household. Period. He's like the only normal thing to come out of it, in my estimation.
You know.
Neither here nor there.
Move on.
Bruce Allen does not rule out franchise tag for Kirk Cousins next year. I don't know. I mean, this makes zero sense. And apparently, I guess the second year you give a franchise, there's an option for a third year somehow, some way. But this basically means that they would have to pay fucking Kirk Cousins $35 million next year, which is just insane. Just insane.
Has anyone ever been franchised 3 times?
I don't think so.
I
mean, it's insane. You get
I didn't even know you could do that.
You get a 44% raise.
That's fucking insane.
If I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm hoping they do it.
No.
Why? Where are you going to go that you're going to get more money, more guaranteed money than $35 million?
He could probably get pretty close. Get on a 4 or 5 year deal with a team that's competitive and get $30 million guaranteed. He's already cleaned up the last 2 years. He went from making like $600,000 or some bullshit to fucking 19 and then 24 million.
That tag number is fully guaranteed though, right?
That's correct. So he doesn't need it.
He could parlay all of it into like $100 million of guaranteed money in like 4 years. That's impressive for a guy that several years ago was just sitting behind dopey Robert Griffin III. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean,
it's not going to happen because
what is the cap? Like is $35 million?
It's just way too much to pay a guy who's
the cap's like 150 something.
Oh, here comes our cap specialist JP with the cats in the background.
For next year, it's that high. Like I don't know what it goes up. I know that every year it goes up a certain amount. So
yeah, I think it's like 156 or something like that.
Either way, if I'm paying Kirk Cousins $35 million, I'm not happy. So
who cares?
Last one.
NFL owners approving changing regular season OT from 15 minutes to 10 minutes in an effort to help the safety of the players. Complete bullshit. That's not fucking true. That's not what that's going to accomplish.
That was the rationale.
That's the rationale. It's less snaps for the guys, so it's subjecting them to less hits.
What like how did they arrive at the number? Like that's what I don't understand.
I don't know. I mean, we already had there was the percentage. I think 11 games or so went over 10 minutes of overtime this year, which is insane. It was the highest it's ever been. But
so what do they think?
It's just going to be more fucking ties. I think that's worse.
Say that's terrible.
Yeah, for the rationale's the worst part of it.
Exactly.
Player safety. I mean, what's an extra 5 minutes? It's like an extra series on each side of the ball.
Exactly.
Do they think that by shortening it, like more teams are going to go for it in questionable spots? Like suddenly it's going to become a game of Madden. Like I don't understand.
If you're gonna shorten it, why not just take overtime completely out of the equation?
It's funny because they reached out to Tom Coughlin for comment, and all he had to say was,
"Kiss my ass."
It's good.
So he's obviously not happy about it, but
he's not wrong. But what do you mean by take it out of the equation altogether, Paul?
Just don't have overtime. If the game ends regulation in a tie, it's a tie. I mean, you'll see teams go for it in the fourth quarter more than try to play field position and try to play for that overtime period.
JP's jumping in.
I'm surprised that nobody. Like I listen to Sirius XM a lot, and on their college thing, on their college one, they talked a little bit about who likes college rules overtime versus pro overtime, and somebody said, why don't they just move it to like the 40-yard line in the pros as opposed to the 25? I think they should move the college one back to like the 30 or 35 to start. But the college rules, the thing I hate about the NFL rule overtime is that not everybody gets the ball. Yeah, they did the thing that if you don't score, then you can punt the person, whatever. But I like the fact that each team gets the ball at the same spot. either run it down their throats and score a touchdown or kick a field goal or stop them on defense. If you don't do it, you don't win, and after the third overtime, you have to go for 2. It's so exciting, especially when there's a lot on the line.
Okay, but
so I don't know what you guys think. I know I'm a bigger college guy than a pro guy, as I know Jeff knows, but
not so fast, Pat Sajak.
Can't we all just agree that like the simple answer is that giving them the ball is like ridiculous? like I'm not saying that both teams shouldn't touch the ball, but the fact that you give a team the ball at the 25-yard line, I mean that's a joke. Like you're taking. I know the NFL has enjoyed doing this, but they legislated special teams out of the game enough. Like every team should at least get to kick off. So if let's just say, for example, the Giants are playing the Cowboys, it's in overtime. Eli gets the ball first. He goes down the field. They score a touchdown. Fine. They kick off to the Cowboys. The Cowboys get a possession. If they don't score a touchdown there, the game's over. If they do score a touchdown, they kick off again. Then maybe you institute this 2-point conversion stuff or this first touchdown win thing. I have no problem with both teams touching the ball, even with a touchdown scored. But to arbitrarily give them a ball on a yard line, I think is insane. I
think if you're trying to increase the amount of kickoffs, I think you're kind of spitting in the face of the whole player safety thing, because I think a lot of the concern comes from those plays where
it's bullshit.
People are running 60 yards full speed into each other.
Exactly. And I was gonna say the other thing is 10 times out of 10 in the NFL, that kickoff's going in the end zone, so they're starting the ball at the 20-yard line anyway.
Which is a bigger problem. The fact that they move the kickoff up is a big problem.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. They're legitimately trying to legislate special teams out of the game, and it's obnoxious. There's no reason why.
I agree. Punters should fucking determine the outcome.
I wonder why.
Whatever. So, but realistically, I mean, just let's go around from the beginning. Paul, do you like college or pro overtime better?
I like aspects of both of it.
You like aspects?
Yes, aspects. I can clear that up for you if you want. Aspect.
I think I can help with the aspect. You like aspects of both, but if you had to pick one, what would you pick?
I think the pro style. I think it's closer to the real. I mean, the heart of the game. It's the way the game's played. I mean, why change up what you're doing for 60 minutes to determine it based on one bad possession?
Okay, Gampo.
Yeah, I don't think it should be changed. I mean, listen, I know determination by a coin flip is kind of brutal, but at the same time, it's professional football. You got to stop them. You want to win? Stop them.
I thought you were going to say flip a coin. And the Empo could in-game bet.
Heads or tails? Heads you win, tails you lose. Go.
Can you imagine the in-game betting on the coin?
Oh my God. Flip? My head would explode.
That'd be great. JP, since you're our caller, which one do you like better?
I said before, I'm a bigger fan of the college one.
Who cares, sucker?
All right. Last licks.
I like calling it last licks instead of garbage time.
All right.
No?
Great. Do it.
Would you sign my balls for me?
Holy jeez. I wanted to lick them.
Woo. All right. Well, let's go with the first. Let's flip the script here a little bit.
All right.
Roger Goodell sent a letter to the players today informing them that the NFL is going to relax their penalties of celebrations. And they're now free to spontaneously celebrate using the ball as a prop or doing snow angels. Thank the fucking Lord. JP, what's going on in your house?
How hard is it
to tell your wife to control the kids?
I can't wait for the first time that Balake goes out to this 10-yard line and starts like gyrating over the ball. That's going to be great.
I think, here's the thing. I think this is good because all we did during the NFL season, all I've done for the last several years is just bitch and bellyache about let the guys have a little fun, right? They're still going to be penalized if it creates a delay game or if it ends up forcing, a team celebration. You can't have a full offensive team celebration, but let the guys have a little fun, blow off a little steam. I thought it was, even though I hate Terrell Owens. Terrell. I thought it was hilarious when he fucking grabbed the Sharpie from out of the thing and signed the ball. Like, come on.
Hey, guys, I think I can help with the Terrell and Terrell thing.
Can you help with the Darrell Darrell?
I love it. I think it's ridiculous that they've been penalizing these guys from the get-go.
It's stupid. So that's a good thing. That's
They
part of
should re-
last look.
They should reimburse the fines for those guys.
I wish we still had Facebook Live because then we'd be able to get Susan on and she could ask everybody.
Everybody having a good time out there?
Right now, we just got fucking JP clocking in, letting us listen to his family in the background.
Yuck.
Who cares? This is Last Licks, not who cares.
Oh, sorry.
You fucking robot. The three people does not work for this show.
Did you see? I know that this isn't on your Last Licks thing, but did you see what the NFL or what I guess the Raiders stadium is going to do when they end up in Vegas? That they're going to allow in-game betting and all sorts of stuff going on in the stadium.
That's fucking phenomenal.
How awesome is that?
You're gonna have 60,000 drunk motherfuckers placing in-game bets like Yampo.
The revenue is going to be out of control too.
My take.
Out of control.
Oh, I mean, I want to go. I want to go right now. I want to become a Raiders season ticket holder. I just hear it going off my head like, oh my god, in-game bet. They got to make this up. Shit, I just lost $100. All right, well.
But think about it, Paul. Like as a Jet fan, right? You went to how many games this year?
One.
All right, so you went to what? Yeah, was it a blowout like it probably was, right?
It was the Monday night fucking debacle against the Colts.
Wait a minute. Right? One game a year, and you went to a Monday night game.
Yuck, right? If you could go to that game and it's that big of a blowout, you're gonna stay if you could bet in game on it, right?
Absolutely.
I love how the NFL is gonna dog you for like a $1.25 for a ticket and like $13 for a cold hot dog and $12 for a beer. And then they're like, oh, by the way, here, bet on our crappy football team too in the process. Awesome.
Recipe for success.
What do you think the odds would have been on the Dwayne Allen 3-touchdown game?
I don't know, man. Plus 400?
Probably higher than
Maybe
that.
more than that. 700?
I don't know. All right,
the Patriots are plus 295 or 275 to win the fucking Super Bowl. Just to give you a little perspective, like the next closest teams are approaching like plus 1,000.
Yuck.
They really think they're going to win again? I don't.
No.
I don't.
Somebody should hide the kale from Tom Brady.
I don't get it.
Right?
Well, he's on the Madden cover, so hopefully he snaps his fucking leg.
Oh my god, that's very spiteful.
Did you see that he put out some kind of video where he's like trying to break the Madden curse, and he said he didn't care about it, and he's on video like breaking a mirror and walking under ladders and doing all the superstitious shit that people don't want to do for bad luck. He's such a piece of shit.
He stinks, and I don't like him.
I don't understand how you have a dog named Brady. I know it's not Tom Brady, but
I like to abuse my animal.
All right.
Ugh.
Come after me, Peter. Peter King.
Oh!
You fed him those brownies.
All right, close us out, Yampa. What's this last one?
Well, this is a little bit of a sad story. Passing of Cortez Kennedy, 48-year-old former defensive player of the year for the Seattle Seahawks. He's a Hall of Famer, 8 Pro Bowls, and there hasn't really been a lot out on what happened. It happened earlier today, but it's interesting to see if this is related in any way, shape, or form to the concussion protocol. And I don't know if you guys have read Jermichael Finley. He posted on the what's the Jeter thing?
The Players
Tribune.
Players Tribune, yeah. He wrote a really good story about the first half of it was about the hits he took and the concussions he got, and then the second half of it was what happened to him when he retired, and then how he had to right himself and get better. So it's really interesting. It kind of made me think about it. I've never really put too much thought into the whole concussion thing in football. But man, these guys put their bodies on the line every week. So I would encourage you out there to read that little piece, and hopefully that this Cortez Kennedy death isn't related to that kind of stuff. So I don't know what the league's going to do about it, but I don't think there's anything they can do about it.
I don't think they're gonna do anything about it. They already settled that lawsuit. That's the extent that they're probably gonna go. You know,
what a fucking shame.
Close us out. Any last final thoughts that you have that are not on the list?
Yeah, here's a last thought. You're fucking. Why I ask you for any fucking sports gambling advice is beyond me. And I was thinking it when I was placing the bet. Last time you talked to Jeff about this, he was absurdly wrong. And here you are asking Jeff again. to confirm your terrible betting assumptions, and minus 11 ain't going to happen, dog.
You don't think they'll score 19 straight to close out the second?
I mean, I guess it's possible. I mean, I was fired up at Jeff on that Christmas Day Knicks game, and they came back and fucking tied it and then lost.
I can leave now, even.
You want me to keep talking gambling over this? I mean, what's your problem? How are the Celtics up 11 right now?
But you can't win much either.
Tell me, Jeff. You have to tell me.
I don't have an answer for you. The NBA sucks. What do you want me to tell you? The fact that you're even paying attention to it is comical. You should have just bet on the hockey game.
I don't bet on hockey.
No, you can't bet on hockey.
The one thing we failed to do this week is to reach out to Jibo, so we have to push the.
Shit!
Our apologies.
Wait, hold on. Do you have his number? Does anybody have his number?
I do. I do. I'll share it with you after the show.
No, I want to call him right now on air.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see if I even have it. Hold on. Jerry Boyle. Oh, shit. I do have it.
Call him.
Okay, here we go. 609 number?
I don't know. Call him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Not answering.
This is you reached the voicemail of Jerry Boyle. I'm not available right now.
Sounds like Paul.
Oh, He's hold on. He's gonna have an automated one.
That's awful. All right, don't. We don't want.
Fuck.
That's.
You've reached the voicemail of Jerry Boyle.
That's terrible.
I'm
He thought.
currently driving the Ford Expedition.
Saw
I
your.
got a crave case in the back, and we're playing WrestleMania.
He saw your number and he was like, he can't answer that. It's terrible. Flashbacks of just hate and abuse because you stink.
That kid, I'll get him on. We're gonna get him on.
Him and Pat Ewing. You got to get on. That'll be good. Get him on.
Well, I'll start with Jerry Boyle.
All right, that's probably a more likely get.
And then hopefully, maybe I could get Brooke Lopez.
Put the lotion in the basket, or else it gets the hose again.
That's good. All right, anything, Paul? No.
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
Paul. Yeah. Shut up, here, Paul.
Yeah, Paul. Anything?
Whatever, Paul.
Hit us up on social media. Check out our Snapchat. It's apparently lit.
Dude, download the fucking show. Do yourself a favor.
Subscribe.
Share away. Subscribe. Thanks to Texas and Utah for checking in this last week. We definitely appreciate it. Maryland representing a little bit. We'd like to get those numbers up a little bit more. So
Maryland.
Until next time, Maryland. Until next time, folks. Be well.
Desperandum, dear lady, across the desert line
see
to the
ya.
promised land. Goodbye, Mrs. Good. Adieu. Auf Wiedersehen. Gesundheit.
See ya.